What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4, and it's that time of the Connected Franchise Mode year where we take a look at the upcoming draft prospects. This is for 2019, and what I'm doing now, because there's a lot of, I did my own research for this, and getting from 2019, I have it going to 2020, 2021, and 2022. There's a lot of sophomores and freshmen I may have missed. So this is by no means, a final prospect ranking or a final list of guys you're going to see. As always, if you feel I've missed anyone, please let me know in the comment section below, and then I'll make sure that I didn't, overview them. Wasn't an oversight, and I will probably put in the best prospects just generally possible. But for the love of God, for the love of fucking God, please realize that I've done 2017 and 2018. I've had people going like, where's Lamar Jackson? It's like, no, he's already in the game. So I don't want to shit on you too much. This is your first video you stumbled upon. But I have done 2 previous years. And so what I try to do, though, is to make it so that, the big star power is dispersed across multiple years. I'm trying to just assume everyone leaves in their senior year. Just to make it easier and just to, kind of extend the general high quality of value of players that can come out. Without further ado, this video here, we will be, breaking up. One video will be offense, one video will be defense, and we're starting off with the offensive players, and we'll start at the quarterback position. So at number 5, we're going with Will Grier, formerly of Florida, now of West Virginia. 6'1", 220 pounds, 3rd round grade. Not the greatest quarterback class, definitely nowhere near the level that last year was, with Lamar Jackson, Josh Rosen, Baker Mayfield, guys like that. Who else was in last year? Josh Rosen, J.T. Barrett was last year. Deshaun Kaiser. Last year was definitely a home run of a draft class. This one here, Jake Browning. I think Jake Browning's really good, but we'll work our way up. So we have Will Grier. Good balance. Maybe even could be considered a little bit of a mobile quarterback. Big arm. Probably going to be a backup. Let's be honest. Probably will be a backup somewhere. Number 4, we have Mark Rypien? Brett Rypien? Is he related to the legendary Canadian quarterback of the Washington Redskins? I don't think so. From Boise State, West Coast style. Throws the ball out there in Boise State. 2nd, 3rd round grade. I personally think he has better pro attributes than Kellen Moore did. And Kellen Moore probably has all the records for quarterbacks in Boise State history. I definitely think he can continue to develop, and he can find himself on a roster in the 2nd, 3rd round. Number 3, we're going Tanner Mangum from BYU, big arm quarterback. He looked really, really good in relief duty from, Taysom Hill, who's like a Tim Tebow, if you will, at BYU. I think Mangum actually will have a shot at, if he gets a full year to start at BYU, and they have a decent-ish schedule, I think Mangum could be a low-key Heisman candidate in real life at some point, just because, he had some crazy comebacks, and he just fucking throws the ball. He's a big-ass arm, so I can definitely see him being a prospect that you develop potentially into a starting quarterback down the road. Number 2 is going to be Shane Buchele from Texas, balanced grade. The freshman is lighting it up in his freshman season with Texas. The season has come to an end. Definitely had better, I think he had better stats and better success than most people would have thought, because they thought they're going to stick with, I can't remember his fucking name, Tyron Swoops, if you will. But Buchele was a much better, more refined quarterback. I definitely think, like I said, this year outside of the number 1 guy, I don't see I'm glad Philadelphia got Carson Wentz and they got Carson Wentz. I don't see any elite franchise quarterbacks outside of the number 1 guy, but I think Buchele is much like Mangum, maybe more so. He's a little bit more refined, has a little bit better accuracy and better mechanics. Could definitely be a starter. But the number 1 quarterback, and I think he will be a franchise quarterback in the NFL, that is Jake Browning of Washington, West Coast style quarterback. Definitely will be on a bunch of Heisman shortlists going into the 2017-2018 college football season. Bonafide top 5 pick. I don't know. I was always, I did my pre-video where I talked about what teams are going to be good in 2016 in college. I keep going back to this. I said Washington's going to be good, man. Jake Browning, Myles Gaskin, those guys are beasts, and they're young. They have to be there for another year. They're only sophomores this season, and they went off for it. And then, hopefully, I don't know when you guys will be seeing this. They beat Alabama for everyone's sake and found their way into the championship. But yeah, I think Jake Browning has all the tools to be a pro quarterback. Maybe he could bulk up a little bit. 215 pounds is a little bit on the small-ish side for a franchise quarterback. Maybe if he can get up to like a 220, 225, which is definitely, one off-season program dedicated to gaining weight away from being there. He will be a franchise quarterback. So that is it for the quarterbacks. Moving on to the running backs. Starting at number 5, we're going Mike Warren from Iowa State. Balanced running back, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, 3rd round grade. I think this class here for running backs is pretty solid. Very comparable to maybe maybe this 2016 year with, Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey. I think Mike Warren definitely is a low-key sleeper. Not the biggest of schools, but anytime I've seen him play, he's been very solid. Third-round grade, can definitely be a 3-down back in the NFL. Go number 4 is going to be Bo Scarborough from Alabama, the power back, built like fucking Derrick Henry, 6'1", 230 pounds. Second, third-round grade, probably go to the third round. I don't really know why Alabama doesn't use him as much. Maybe it's because his lack of vision, and he doesn't seem to play as big as he is. Like, this guy here literally looks like a fucking bodybuilder or something. He's like juiced to the fucking gills. I assume he's fucking clean. But he kind of plays like Brandon Jacobs a little bit, where like he literally looks like that guy is never going to go down on tackle. But then, he's just, I don't know. He just doesn't make guys miss, doesn't run through guys. But I think, I think he'll turn it around next year and be I think he just from the tool standpoint, you could just see some running backs coach say, give me that guy. I can mold and shape that guy into a pro level, thumper. I don't think he has the greatest of hands either. But definitely a second, third round grade there for Scarborough. Number 3 is Myles Gaskin from Washington. Balanced grade, 5'9", 200 pounds. I think he's a second round grade. Good balance back. Can run between the tackles, can catch the ball in the backfield. Good speed. And definitely will be a starting running back in the NFL at some point. Maybe not get the starting role right away. I think the top 2 guys here are for sure starting running backs. But I think Gaskin can certainly carve a rollout on whatever team drafts him and he become a solid starter. The top 2 running backs, though, these guys here I think will be as good as the Fournette Dalvin Cook comparison. And we'll go with number 2, starting with Leonard Fournette, his backup. Derrius Guice from LSU, one-cut runner, 5'11", 230 pounds, first round grade. I think this guy here. I don't really know how well he is catching out of the backfield, which, I mean, in today's evolving NFL, more and more teams will put in emphasis. If you can catch the ball, you're going to get, you're more value. You have more perceived value. I don't think Guice has, bricks for hands, and he's probably a little bit better than Leonard Fournette. But I don't know if he's as good as the number 1 option. But I think both these guys are going to be phenomenal running backs. I think Guice will be a starting running back, probably a top 15 pick when he does actually declare. And hopefully some team will draft him fairly high in our connected franchise mode. But the number 1 available running back is Saquon Barkley from Penn State, a one-cut runner, 5'11", 220 pounds, first round grade, top 10 grade, I think. I think Barkley may be... when all this influx of running backs leave college football, when there's no more Leonard Fournette, no more Dalvin Cook, no more Christian McCaffrey, I personally do believe that Barkley is head and shoulders the top running back and left in there. And he's still, what is he, a sophomore? He'll be he'll be a junior actually going into next year. But Barkley is going to be an absolute stud. Maybe, I don't know, we have McCaffrey in our connected franchise mode. If things don't work out, I could be intrigued to get Barkley if he somehow slips to me in the draft. I'm not exactly sure yet, but he's going to be a big-time playmaker to add to our connected franchise mode. Next, moving on to the wide receivers. This is another one where I may need some more input because my list was kind of old, and maybe some guy, maybe a sophomore, has actually really shown up on people's radar. And man, how you gotta add? Don't take this video as how the fuck do you forget this guy? Take it more as, hey man, you definitely should look at this. X, A, B, and C. These guys might be better for you. Number 5 is Hunter Renfrow from Clemson, a slot wide receiver, 5'10", 185. Currently with a second round grade, probably closer to a second, third round grade. I think he's one of the top slot corners in college football. There's a really good one at Louisiana Tech. I think I remember his first name is something Taylor. He's really good, but I think Renfrow is going to have a big year in Clemson once, likes of Artavis Scott and Mike Williams are gone. So I think second round grade for him. And much like, a guy that once, the influx of Clemson receivers go. Number 4, Deion Kane from Clemson, a route runner, 6'2", 205, second round grade. I think he and Renfrow could be one hell of a tandem for whoever the backup quarterback is to Deshaun Watson and Clemson. I think Clemson has a lot of talent. They're going to be very competitive for multiple seasons upcoming. For number 3, we're going Kevontae Turpin from TCU. He is a burner. TCU speed wide receiver, 5'9", 180 pounds, second round grade. Very similar size to a D.D. Westbrook, but I actually think he's a little bit faster. So teams that need a guy that can stretch the field, maybe a complement to a bigger possession wide receiver in the NFL, will fall in love with this guy. Absolute burner, second round grade. The top 2 wide receivers, though, in this class are bona fide franchise wide receivers. Number 2, we're going Christian Kirk from Texas A&M, balanced wide receiver, 5'11", 205 pounds, first round grade for sure. He'll probably be a top 20 pick, almost a lock. His stats, for some reason, in 2016 dipped a little bit. I don't know if it's because Trevor Knight's not the greatest quarterback, or there's a lot of mouths to feed on that Texas A&M team. You got, Ricky Seals-Jones, Speedy Noyle, Christian Kirk, Josh Reynolds. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I think once those guys leave, similar to what Clemson is, you're really going to see, Kirk have some eye-popping numbers, but definitely is a first-round pick. And at number 1, we're going Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver from Alabama, balanced wide receiver. He can do it all. He's big. He can play on the outside. He got some speed to him. I mean, I wouldn't, some people have said, oh my God, this guy's the next great, like Julio Jones, something like that. I wouldn't go that far with the comparison, but I think he is the best wide receiver. You got Derrius Stewart, who's pretty solid. But I would say, he's definitely one of the greatest in terms of talent wide receivers Alabama's ever had. 6 feet tall, 195 pounds, first round grade will definitely be there. Maybe we'll add him. Maybe we'll add another wide receiver to pair with Antonio Callaway and Jordan Matthews. Maybe we can't re-sign DGB. Who fucking knows? But to finish up the offense here, we're going to take a look at the offensive line. We'll go through this real quickly. Number 5, we have Toby Weathersby from LSU, a run blocker, 6'5", 295 pounds, second round grade. He's best suited as a right tackle in the NFL. Number 4, we have Brock Rubble from Florida State, a run blocker, 6'7", 295. Probably will start as a right tackle, but because of that size and the wingspan, I could definitely see him making the move to a left tackle role with a second round grade. Number 3 is Orlando Brown from Oklahoma, big mauler, 6'7", 340 pounds. First round grade. This guy will be a left tackle in the NFL. Number 2 is Martez Ivey from Florida, balanced grade, 6'5", 320 pounds. First round grade because he can literally play anywhere aside from center. I think he can play both guard positions. That's where he started with Florida, but he has the size to play at right tackle. Probably a little bit undersized as a left tackle, but I think Ivey, because of his balance and his flexibility on the offensive line, that will greatly help his value and perceived value at the next level. But the number 1 offensive lineman is pretty much unanimous. Mitch Hyatt from Clemson, balanced offensive lineman, 6'5", 305 pounds. Can play a little bit of guard, but probably will be best suited as a right tackle in the NFL. First round grade. This guy's an absolute stud and very influential into all of Clemson's success, and the fact that Deshaun Watson was able to do and Wayne Gallman was able to do what they did in their big season. So there you have it, guys. Those are your offensive rookies for the 2019 draft class. As always, if I missed anyone on the offensive side of the ball, please let me know in the comment section below. I definitely would like to refresh my list come the actual draft time. And make sure you guys stay tuned. Probably tomorrow you will see the defensive prospects. And yeah, that'll be cool. So until next time, guys, it's your boy C4 saying this is your first time stopping by. You like this idea, you like this concept, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Check out the Eagles Connected franchise mode. We have 3 seasons deep right now. So lots of good footage for you guys to check out there. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.